Welcome to the Senior Moments podcast, brought to you by SCAN, the Senior Citizens Activities Network, and our friends at New Jersey Natural Gas and the Save Green Project. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. My name is Mike Cevolino, Executive Director of SCAN, joined each and every week by my trusty colleague. Is it okay to say trusty?
I'm trusty.
It's kind of an old word.
But I am trusty.
You're totally trusty.
I'm trusty.
It should be on your business card, honestly.
Trusty.
Andrea Tarr, ladies and gentlemen, Communications Director here at SCAN.
Hi, everyone.
We need to clone you. You're so busy. You have so many things that you're doing.
It's getting a little scary.
You're like SCAN's personal ambassador to the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get out and, meet the peeps. And
Yes,
that's
which you're doing.
Yeah, that's been a good thing in raising awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, I just had somebody ask me about the acting and improv class.
Great.
So that was kind of fun.
And that class was, we heard them just
We hear
all
them
throughout the
laughing.
hallways,
It's
right?
Like, what are they doing in there?
I know. It was hardly
Yeah.
even a class. I thought that was back in high school
like a
or
riot.
something
It
like
was
that.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was
You have
really
to go
wild.
in there with restraints or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But aren't we off to one heck of a start so far this semester? I mean, we have so many things going on.
We do. And of course, we're always planning ahead. So
Yes.
we're planning already for our Brain Health Fair, which is in April.
Always a great event.
Is it April 25th?
Right here at SCAN. You
Right.
better take, if you forgot the date.
Yeah,
you
I
should
did
probably
forget the date.
get involved
but
in
it's
the
somewhere
class.
in April. And what's really cool is Dr. Jasdeep Hundal, who was a guest on this very podcast.
He was great.
And he is a neuropsychologist from Hackensack Meridian Health, and he's going to be our keynote speaker. So guaranteed, fantastic keynote.
Is there still
Guaranteed.
spots available for folks to sign up for that, or did we sell it out already?
You know what? It sells out every year, but
Mhm.
right now we still have spots. And then, believe it or not, we're going to start a waiting list. It's
Okay.
that popular.
ScanNJ.org. Just go. You can go online and
Mhm.
sign up for our Brain Health Fair, or give us a call at 732-542-1326. And we are also starting to get planning going for our sixth annual
Our Senior Expo and Fashion Show, which
Cannot
is in
wait.
May, Older Americans Month.
May 10th.
And it's, May, it's, yikes. But yeah, that's what we do here. We plan ahead. So
Right.
yeah, we have a lot, there's a lot going on.
There is.
And then just the day-to-day stuff, which is a lot.
And today we have a very special guest on our show. And
We do.
so, we'd like you folks to know who the instructors are here at SCAN, because really without our teachers, our instructors, who are the backbone of everything we do, there wouldn't be a SCAN.
You would just have us.
Yeah, and who wants that, quite
Really?
honestly? So today we are very fortunate to have on one of our most favorite instructors. She's a great friend to SCAN and our members. We're just so grateful for all the work you do for us. Please welcome to the show our yoga instructor, Maria DiSanti.
I'm so happy to be here.
How are you?
I'm great.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's
This is
nice to have
exciting.
you come from like 40 feet down the hall.
Right.
Into
Into
the
this
studio.
side, yes. Yeah.
So why don't we start out by telling the folks at home a little bit about the classes that you're currently teaching this
Okay.
semester here at SCAN.
Okay.
But Maria, just start out by saying, how long have you been teaching at SCAN?
All right, even better.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
it's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's got to be, I think, since 2011 or 12.
It is a long time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a while.
Yeah.
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 Who knew, right? Who knew when you
Who
walked in
knew?
the door?
Really, I started out with one class.
Yes, that's
just
r-
one
that's
class
right.
with about 6 people in the class.
Now, what
That
brought
was
you
it.
here? What was the first thing that happened? Who reached out to you? How'd
Well,
you
there
hear
was
about SCAN?
actually another yoga teacher that I knew was teaching class here, and she couldn't do it anymore.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
So
that's
she
right,
asked
that's
me if I
right.
would take over the
Ours
class.
was-
I said, why not?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll try it out.
And it was nice because it was a direct recommendation from the current teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've been here a while and we love it.
A
We're
while,
very
and
lucky.
yeah, it's grown, from one class
Yeah.
to 3 classes, and that's I think that's amazing.
And
you
the
know?
amount of people taking it. Has
and the
really-
amount of people.
Your
Yeah, there was
classes
6
are so
six people.
popular.
Love them all.
Well,
Love
that's a
'em all.
testament to you.
Yeah, I love doing it. I can't see myself ever stop doing
Good.
it.
That's
So we don't want you
yeah.
to.
So now, what are multiple classes, so why don't
Yeah.
you share what everything is? Because a lot of people probably don't know the differences.
Sure. So the first class is the chair yoga class. That's the later class. And that's really for anybody that can't get up, get on, from the floor back up. So we sit in the chair and
Right.
do some of the stuff, but we also stand up and we do some stuff. But people can stay in the chair
Right.
the whole time.
So if they need to, they can do the whole
Yes,
thing.
you can do the whole thing seated. So,
So for people who think they couldn't do yoga because you have to be on the floor,
exactly.
no, you don't have to be on the floor,
Yeah.
which is great. That's a
Yoga poses,
misconception.
yeah, yoga poses. There's like, people think that there's only like maybe 20 or 30
And
yoga
they're all
poses.
sort of, you know.
Yes, exactly, and it's not. Like there's
that's
hundreds.
I have no idea.
There's hundreds of
Yeah.
yoga poses, hundreds of them.
There's the warrior one. Right?
That's
Is that the
the
one you
one
were
that-
doing?
I don't know.
Yes, that's the one everybody knows is warrior. Yeah, yeah.
And downward dog. I know that
Downward
one.
dog, yes. Yeah. And so that brings us to the gentle class, which we don't do any warrior poses, but we do alternates that give us the same benefits of that, but we don't have to do that.
Like what? What's an example of that?
So there's, instead of doing that, we would be on our knees and we stretch our arms out. It's called puppy dog. So
Oh, I
you're
love
getting
it.
the
I love
stretch
it.
in your
Yeah, yeah.
spine because it's really about the spine and not really about the legs.
It's more gentle.
It's
Exactly.
gentle. It's gentle. And some people can't even do that. They'll go onto their forearms
Yeah.
instead. So the gentle class is meant for anybody that has some kind of challenges. Maybe they have knee issues and they can't do certain things, so they get options for it. Or maybe, you know, there's a challenge going up and down. We'll do that maybe once, coming up, standing up from the floor, and going back down. So it helps us get the workout to start to use those muscles, but we don't have to do it, you know, consistently. So maybe people that have back issues or knee issues, or somebody that has had an issue that maybe they had an injury or something that they were taking the earlier class, the one that's more challenging, and they can't do that, so they can go into the gentle
So they
class.
can still do yoga.
Yes.
Still practice it.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that's the misconception that, oh, I can't do this because I can't get on the floor. But
Yeah.
it's yoga for all levels.
All levels.
And you're so wonderful because you really do help people make those modifications.
Definitely, and I always tell people at the end of class, if you have a challenge with something, come to me. Ask me, what can I do? I can't do this one pose. How can I modify it? And people do. They'll come up to me and say, how do I do this? Or I'm having a problem. And we'll even address it in the class, you know, maybe the next time
Yeah.
we come to class. Or I'll say, remind me about this, and I'll give alternates for that. Because if you're doing this and you're having a problem,
Probably other people
Yeah,
are
there's
too.
definitely some.
And the beauty of taking a class at SCAN, because you have someone like Maria who's willing to put in that effort.
You could talk with Maria before class. We see our
Yes.
members gathering around Maria after class.
They don't want to
Definitely.
let you go.
definitely. Yeah, and there's only
Signing
like
autographs. I
there's
know.
only 15 minutes between the classes, so it goes very quickly.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And then what is the third class, the
So
third yoga?
the third one is the more advanced.
The more-
People that have
okay.
been doing it for years, or people that really their mobility is
They're good.
really
They're good.
expanded. Yeah, so yeah, it's and even there, I'll give options. Okay, if you know you're having a problem with this, you can do that. Or how about doing this? You don't have to do it all.
So say you don't have a mobility issue, but you haven't taken yoga in a while and you've joined SCAN. Can you still take the advanced yoga? Like just jump right into that. Would you recommend that? I should say that.
I really wouldn't recommend it.
So what should you start with?
So the thing is with that is you can go in there, and then if
At
you
your
see
own
that,
risk.
yeah, and then if you find that you're struggling, then you just go to the gentle class. I always recommend to do the gentle class first.
Makes sense.
Because you can feel your way around, you know, and it's a much slower pace.
And learn the basic poses.
Exactly.
And we let you do that at SCAN. If you're in a class that's too
Right.
advanced, you can go backwards, and if it's not advanced enough, we let people do that.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
everybody gives you those
That's the
options.
beauty of it, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So-
I have to tell you,
Please.
this is really important. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. So it's so important for people to understand that just if you can breathe,
You don't have to be
you don't have to do
an
anything.
Olympic athlete.
Yeah,
to,
most of the time I hear people say, "Oh, I'm not flexible enough, so I can't do yoga." I mean, if you're dirty, you take a shower. if you're not
Hopefully.
flexible, if you're not
Yeah.
flexible, then do yoga, So it's, it's a perfect thing for anybody.
Now, obviously, as we're sitting here talking to you, we can feel the passion that you have
Definitely.
for this practice. So why don't you tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about how you got started in it, what attracted you to it, and what has benefited you the most practicing yoga?
That's a lot.
We have 20 minutes. Still,
Amazingly enough, I started because of my neighbor said, you would be really good at yoga. You should try doing yoga.
Now, why did she say that to you, do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I'm flexible. Okay, so
She saw this in action.
Yes, I'm flexible. And so it took me a little while to actually go and practice. But I was like, all right, I'm going to try this. So I took a 6-week beginner class. And I found out that I loved it. And not because I was flexible. It was because it felt really good in my body.
Physically.
Yeah, my
Just the
body.
stretching.
Yeah, just the stretching.
Movement.
So
What year is this about now?
Oh, it was just like about maybe 3 years before I took my teacher training. So I took my teacher training 2011, and I came here to work right after I finished my teacher training.
That's great.
So, yeah.
So we were your first
Yes.
as you were apprenticing.
Yes,
Sort of.
yes. So I did take a beginner class, and I loved it, but I loved I wanted to know about all the other stuff. Like, why do I feel good? Because it wasn't just physically, it was even in my mind I felt better.
The mind, body, spirit.
Yes, and I just didn't understand, like, what is this? So I actually took they had a meditation class. So I took a 6-week meditation class there. And that, to me, was, like, really powerful. I couldn't believe within 6 weeks how it really transformed me. I don't think that that's common. I think it takes a while. Most of the time you hear people, it takes them maybe 2 months or so to start noticing or feeling something different. Even in yoga practice with asana and breathing, your asana is the exercise
Please
part.
explain that, yeah.
That's the exercise part. That's
Okay.
the poses.
Asana.
Asana, yes.
That's all the various poses.
All the various poses, yes. So I started to notice, well, it's more than just the yoga class, the asana exercise class. And so after about a year and a half, I was like, I need to know more about this.
Like it really was getting to you.
It was
Yeah.
really getting
Yeah.
to me. I noticed that I was calmer. I noticed that things didn't bother me as much, and it just happened. So there's a quote, you don't do yoga, yoga does you.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
And it does, it just naturally happens. You just practice, because that's what it's called. You practice, you go, and you take your classes, and you just go, and you go, and things just start to change.
There's a transformation.
There's a
So,
transformation.
How often should someone practice yoga in order to feel those benefits over a period of time, whether it's a few weeks or a month or so?
I never like to tell people, because then it's a should, and then you don't want to.
Yes.
It's. I always say, go when you can, and that's something, because anything is something.
Anything
If
is
you
something.
sit for 3 minutes and just follow your breath, that's something. If you sit for 1 minute every day, that's something. If you come to one yoga class, I hear this a lot in SCAN. I hear this in my classes a lot. I'm coming and I feel really good. That
must
one
make
class,
you feel so good.
yeah, it's because it's what I want. That's why I'm doing this. And then they say, I'm going to come to a second class. So let it happen naturally.
Right,
Let it
right.
happen naturally. No shoulds.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
How many days a week do you do yoga? Do you do it every single day?
I do something.
Or how many days a week does yoga do you?
I do something every day, something, whatever it may be. Classes, per se, I usually do 2 to 3 where I have specific teachers that I go to for specific things. So
Daily?
I go to 3 like yoga classes that are other teachers teaching them.
I see.
But
Almost
my own.
for your level-ish kind of thing?
It's not level, because anybody can do some of the classes that I do. I actually do one class every Sunday that it's just anybody can sit on the floor or the chair and is breathing. and then it's meditation. So you're moving just very
Sounds
little.
great.
You know, it could be just turning your head.
Yeah.
It's very, very gentle, but it's a class for me. So level, it's really no level. You
Wonderful.
know, I think the fallacy is everybody sees, you know, these people doing these beautiful poses, you know, and that narrows what you think yoga is about.
I think that's really true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yoga, it's not just the exercise, it's not just the physical. There's the breathing aspect of it, which is very, very important. There's positive thinking. And in that positive thinking, there's meditation. And then there's the other important part of this, which is the rest part. So all of those encompass yoga, because yoga means union.
Oh, I didn't know.
So it's union of body, mind, and spirit.
And it's obviously not just what you're doing in the classroom. It's kind of becoming part of your life.
Oh, it does become.
Well, for you, certainly.
Yeah. And really,
Yeah.
for most people, I have had so many people tell me from SCAN, they come in, do you know, you know, one woman from chair yoga class, do you know, I was driving and all of a sudden I was able to turn my head. I haven't been able to do that for years.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a
Wow,
big deal.
that's wild.
You know, I hear stories like that all the time. It happens and you don't realize, and all of a sudden you do something like, you know, I got up and I started to walk up and down the stairs and it was like so much easier, you know? So beautiful. And I always tell people, go to a class that meets your needs, not you're going to go to a class that offers you whatever.
Try to fit into that.
Yeah, don't try to fit into the mold.
Right.
Yeah.
Good advice. You're listening to and watching. I have to get over saying just listening. You are watching the Senior Moments podcast, brought to you by SCAN, the Senior Citizens Activities Network, with Mike and Andrea. Our guest today is SCAN's yoga instructor extraordinaire, Maria DiSanti. So Maria, I want to ask you a little bit about the meditation aspect of your classes. I've done some of it, but I always wind up, you miss a few days here and there. What do you think are the benefits for people if they did meditation even for a few minutes every single day?
I think they're astronomical. I really do. Even if you sit down for 1 minute every day, and then let it be okay that you don't do it. You know, it's okay I missed a day. It's okay, because it's the same thing. It's a practice. You just do it, and then after a while, you miss it, and then you want to do it.
So I've had people tell me, I can't do meditation. I just can't sit there and. What should the mindset be, or how should people approach trying meditation?
One simple thing, even go to a class and see what it's like. I think there's like mystery behind it all.
There is. Yeah.
And it isn't really mystery. It really isn't. If you just sit there and say, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. That's it.
Just focus on your breath.
Yeah, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out for 1 minute. That's the practice. People are so afraid they think they're not doing it right. I just had last week somebody that I know that's been coming to my class for years, and she said, you know, I don't know if I'm doing my meditation right. And I said, what do you mean you don't know if you're doing your meditation right? It's okay, whatever you're doing, you know? And so she talked to me about what you're doing. I said, you're perfect, just keep on doing it. She goes, oh, you know, I thought that it has to be a certain way. You can walk and do meditation by just following your breath, or following the sound of your footsteps, or the sounds that you hear. It's consistency. Just keep on doing it.
Now, I feel like the ultimate goal of meditation is to stop having the thoughts in your head control
calm you.
Running wild. So you're the watcher of your. So if you're thinking something that's maybe taking a scenario and making it worse in your mind, or making an assumption, that by doing meditation, you can sort of snap back and say, okay, that's just my thoughts. I don't have to engage with it. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So I think that gets people all like wound up, like controlling. And it's not about controlling your mind, because your mind's going to do what it's going to do. Your mind's a machine, and it makes lists of things, and it creates scenarios. They may not be true, but that's what the mind does. And you were right about just watch it. Just watch it, it's okay. It's just watching. So my meditation practice, some days I'm like, I feel really good and I can follow and I'm calm, and some days my mind is going like crazy, but it's okay. You know, I just tell
let
myself,
that go.
yeah,
Like
just, it's all right.
What if you're frustrated about something? Or
Right, exactly. You know, we all have all of that, and it's just, what do we do with it? How do we navigate it? And it's just by watching it all. You know, just by watching
for
it.
some people, and I'll say myself included, we talk about like you like to cook or you like to garden, you like to do something, like I'm in the kitchen, I'm chopping vegetables, which for some people would say, oh, who wants to do that? But I'll say for me, it is like a meditation moment.
Absolutely.
And that's what I tell people.
Absolutely.
You know, you're doing something that kind of stops you and calms you, and I have to be focused, so I have my 10 fingers. And it's like chopping, and for me, it is like a meditation.
Definitely, definitely. Runners, they have that.
That's right, that's right. You know, you get into the flow.
Exactly.
Where you almost stop the outside thoughts without trying to stop them. You're just
Yeah, it's just no
in
control.
the present moment.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the next thing you look at the clock and an hour went by.
Yep.
You were completely in the flow of that moment.
That's it,
And
exactly.
that is a meditation. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's not always the traditional.
It's not
Some
always.
people are meditating and they don't even understand that they're already meditating.
Very true,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
If you're having those kinds of moments, like a runner or,
Yeah, definitely. Or painting, and you're really
That's right.
focused on your
Yes.
painting,
That's
or
right.
playing a musical instrument.
Yes.
Yeah, or just walking in nature.
Writing.
That's right.
Writing, yeah.
Whatever kind of gets
Yeah.
you in the flow and gets everything out there, away, you know, it's blocked out.
Yeah.
It's the best moments of all.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's meditation.
There you go, that's it. Definitely.
So how many students do you have now in your classes?
Oh,
Is that a trick question?
A lot.
yes, it is.
Approximately. Just to give the audience an idea of how many folks you teach here.
I'd probably say about 16 to 20 in the chair yoga class.
They've really grown.
Yeah, the chair yoga class is really big. There's about, I think, 10 or 12 in the other two classes. Yeah, and because we have the online, you know, so there's more.
That's true. And for the folks at home that don't know that, you can take your SCAN classes. You don't even have to come down here to take your classes. You can take them via Zoom.
Yes.
So can you talk about how you do that, the work you do to prepare that, or what you do for the folks at home?
Pajama yoga.
Yes.
I would call it.
Pajama. You know what? True.
Yeah. I
Maybe
know.
we'll call
but
it
that's
that.
okay. That's okay.
I think at first it was a struggle to do that, having to watch both.
Right.
But it's, you know, like
you do
anything.
it simultaneously now,
Yeah,
too, right?
it's all at once. Yeah, so it's like a muscle that, you know, you practice, or well, it becomes second nature, and it's really comfortable doing it. I think though the people that are on Zoom, they have to be more accountable for themselves,
Right.
which was a little bit of a struggle for me, because I like to watch to make sure nobody's going to hurt themselves. So I give cues if I see that somebody might be doing something that might, you know, injure themselves.
Right.
It's a little bit harder with that part of it, and I had to practice that. I had to let go of that part of it. I can give verbal cues, so I can, based on what I know and what I've seen from all the years, I can give the verbal cues of the things that I know that might happen. So that part of it is a little bit challenging.
What do you enjoy the most about teaching here at SCAN?
So much. The people are amazing. The love that they have for what they do, and
There's a passion, right? There is a passion
and
in
they're
the classes.
they're so open to try things, and to try them at home, to take things at home and just say, you know, I did this and this helped me here. They're open to experience. Like I offer,
like that.
I come and bring whatever I learn, and they're like sponges. They absorb. It's that like fills me up, because it's like they want more. They want more. So that they have a great attitude about things, positive. It's just like a pleasure, and they really are grateful. You know, they have so much gratitude. It's just like
For
such
the
a
class
pleasure.
or just
For everything.
Well,
for
I
the
think they're
classes,
also
for each
grateful
other.
that we have you as the instructor
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it, and I feel like your passion feeds off them, and they're,
Back
you know,
and
it's
forth.
back and forth.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's just like, I feel blessed. I really do.
So, tell the folks, let's talk a little bit about before yoga. Where are you from originally? How did you wind up down here in Monmouth County? Are you a lifelong Monmouth County resident?
No, I'm actually from Ozone Park, Queens, New York.
That's great. Does that make you
Yeah.
a Mets fan?
Well, I'm not a sports fan,
Okay,
so
fair
sorry.
But if you were,
But if I-
you
yeah.
would be a Mets fan.
The Queens team.
Why not, right? So I moved here about 26 years ago. I was looking for a place with my family where I could raise my kids, and this was like a beautiful place.
Yeah.
So we moved here. I've gotten divorced since then, and that was kind of the transformation for me at that point where I did start to take yoga and look inward myself and all the self-growth. And I feel like that was like really important, and I really wanted to share all the things that I experienced during that time, and I figured it could help others if it helped me.
Yeah.
So that's where I was, based on what you said, you can now, anybody going through that or anything that's traumatic in their lives or
Yeah.
a painful issue, that how yoga can
It's healing.
help
Yeah,
just with your day-to-day
Yes.
attitude and
definitely.
outlook on
Yeah.
your situation.
Yeah, it definitely helped me get through my divorce. Yeah, it was a great support system for me. Yeah,
And now you've come how many years forward?
yes,
So you teach in other locations too?
I do.
How many days a week do you teach? What's Maria's schedule like?
Maria's a busy lady.
6 days a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
6 days a week.
Now, do you ever physically need a day off? You ever feel like, wow, I'm kind of
No.
sore today? And you
This
don't.
yoga's
No.
exhausting. Man.
I really don't. I really don't. If it's 7 days, sometimes it is 7 days.
Wow.
I mean, I do have gentler classes, and I do something called restorative, which is something that we do once a month here.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes.
I've heard of
Yeah.
that. I don't know. Tell me what
Yes.
what that is, or tell us.
So restorative is only maybe 3 or 4 poses in an hour class, but we use props, bolsters, blankets, and blocks, and we hold a pose, but we use for like maybe 10 minutes, but all of those props are what support. So you're not using your muscles,
Right.
you're not using anything to support, you're actually focused on breathing and relaxing and letting the props hold you up. So that is so good for your immune system, your nervous system. It's strengthening. It's an amazing practice.
Restorative, that's exactly what you're describing.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's one of the hardest to do because you have to be still
You're holding a pose for a long time.
and not really holding
Well,
it.
even though you're supported, but you have to be still. Yeah.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
is-
you
that
don't.
is hard.
You do have to. It's just breathing and relaxing and letting the props hold you up. So it's a hard thing to do because we're used to go,
Yes.
go. But it has such benefits, and when people start to do this and they do it consistently, they really see the results very quickly. And then they say, oh my goodness, like this is amazing and I want more of it.
I just have one more question myself.
Yeah.
We'll see if Andrea has any before we wrap today. But we don't teach it here. You don't teach it here. What the heck is hot yoga? That seems like it's like a torture.
It's hot.
It's hot. What they do is raise the temperature.
Literally.
Really, like 100 degrees and above.
Yeah, no thanks.
And so what that does is it relaxes your muscles to the point that
You
if
pass
you're
out.
relaxed,
No.
if you're relaxed, your muscles stretch out so you can go deeper into poses and
Okay.
stuff. So it's one that, especially when you're getting older, is really important not to do, because if that muscle is really stretched out, you think you can go deep, and then you can wind up injuring yourself.
I almost feel like, for me, I've known people who've done it. And my first thought is like, I'm doing yoga in a sauna. I'm
Yes.
Right. Yeah, no
sweating and I'm
thanks.
Yes.
sweating. Am I going to pass out?
I'll sign
I mean,
up for lukewarm
that's-
yoga.
That's
That's
how
what I want.
that's how it feels in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But Yeah. Let's not do it here.
Well, Maria, we're
Yeah.
not going to be offering
That's
hot
okay.
yoga anytime
No.
soon, but
That's okay.
Maybe hot honey, but not hot yoga.
hot honey we will offer. But we are very grateful for everything that you do here at
Yes.
SCAN
Yes.
and for our SCAN members, and we hope we never lose you anytime soon. We're going to lock you right in that room back there. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take classes here at SCAN, gentle yoga, advanced yoga, chair yoga, all of which have meditation components, you can take them right here at SCAN with our wonderful teacher, Maria DiSanti. So that's all the time we have for today. We thank you so much for coming
you,
on the show, Maria.
Wonderful.
I'm grateful
We
for being here.
appreciate that. Yeah, we are grateful to have you. Let me tell you.
We're going to go back in the office and meditate.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll close the door. You can hang around for a couple of minutes, lead us in a quick meditation.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. This has been the Senior Moments podcast, brought to you by SCAN. We'll be back at this time next week with another show. We want to thank our TV production class here at SCAN. So we talked to you about our yoga class. Our TV team shot and did this whole video and audio today. So kudos to them for an amazing job. So that's it for this week. My name's Mike Chevalito,
I'm Andrea Tarr.
and we'll see you next time on the Senior Moments podcast.